Hey, what's up, guys? It's Brad, and today I found finally a great new use for the face diaper. The face diaper, while it is the perfect protection for every virus, every sickness, it keeps everything out. In fact, I'm planning on when World War III finally kicks off and we're under nuclear attack. I'm just gonna wear my face mask and I'm going to be safe because it protects me from everything, according to liberals. But seriously, I just wanted to talk about I have a theory, okay? I think that the real virus is mental illness. Because if you think about voting right now and the two candidates and the two options that you have a guy on one hand, and I don't need to go over it too much, but Biden, let's just focus on taxes. Do you have enough money right now? Does anybody have enough money right now? Are you guys just like cool with the amount of money that you have right now? Well, how would you like to have less money and less businesses to go to, less restaurants? Just on taxes alone, Biden comes out, he says openly, oh, if you vote for me, I'm definitely going to raise your taxes. On his website, he supports the Green New Deal, which is a piece of legislation so insane that I'm truly living in a clown world. It's just, go read it for yourself. It's just absolutely insane. It has nothing to do with the environment. It's totally crazy. But if it passes, you're going to have much less money. And it goes on and on. I mean, I've gone over the fact that Biden is clearly a pedophile, groping little kids on camera. He's got some weird shit going on with his son Hunter, where his son, he's obviously in bed with literal enemies of the American people that sent over the coronavirus that shut down the whole world and now has been proven to be a man-made virus. But you have all these people that are on the left that quite literally are turning around and saying, no, this is your fault. Trump supporter, you're racist, you're a terrible person. You have white liberals going up to black people, telling them that if they know what's best for them, they'll vote for Biden. And if 50 Cent or Ice Cube comes out and says, hey, actually Trump has been a much better person to work with than the Democrats, and Joe Biden's tax plan makes no sense for me and my family or my fellow black people, you have white liberals coming out and scolding them and saying you're an Uncle Tom to black people. You have white suburban women that have never lived in the hood. They've never been to a black Baptist church. They've never had black friends that weren't, crazy BLM ideologues. They're literally telling those people that you need to vote this way or you're not black, just like Joe Biden said. If you don't vote for me, then you ain't black. Mental illness. It's like systemic racism. These people have been trained for years to believe in something that doesn't exist, to live in a fantasy LARPville where people are looking for systemic racism. They believe that there's some type of white male patriarchy that's keeping minorities down, and they're hunting out black trannies. That's their new favorite thing to say. Black Islamic trannies that are blinded medically and have hooves. I mean, like, the more minority points you have, the more apparent white people are going out of their way to murder them. And meanwhile, they go out and everything that they say that the Republicans are doing, what are they doing? They're doing those things. It's called mental illness. It's a serious problem. They have an actual delusion, and they're so emboldened by it. You have teachers in college and teachers in kindergarten, all the way through the education system, teaching kids things that make no fucking sense. I mean, you have a whole group of people out there that are like, Trump is racist. And then you ask them, where is one fucking example of that? And they're like, well, he just is, because look at this picture, and they scream. Like, literal, like, they literally are like autistic or something. It's just a bizarre mental disorder. It seriously is. We used to joke about it, that liberalism is a literal mental disorder, but it really is the true virus. Leftism, to vote for a democratic socialist when there are no examples throughout history of socialism ever working out, that's crazy. Like, period. That on that one point, period, is literal mental illness. And it just goes on and on and on. But it's being exposed now, and it's just so crazy to like see it in front of you. I don't get it. I really don't. It's true, just parallel universes type shit going on, where one group of people is living in this dystopic nightmare mindset where the world is inverted and you're hunting Nazis that don't exist. Meanwhile, you're going around and shooting people in cars. You're breaking businesses down. You're voting for the destruction of the United States. You love communist China. I mean, how backwards can you be? You really can't get much more inverted than that. Actually, I'm lying. It does get more inverted than that. And again, that's why I've talked about so much satanic ritual abuse. This is what it is. It's gaslighting on a massive scale because they think that I just figured it out, okay? As I've talked about with satanic ritual abuse and mind control and MK Ultra, the CIA programs that they have on CIA farms, they put the children through so much trauma that the children will believe anything. And in the end of 1984, it's the same fucking thing where the main character considers freedom and an ultimate victory in life to be able to say again that 2 + 2 = 4. The guy tortured him so bad, the system tortured him so bad that he literally would say, yes, you're right, 2 + 2 = 5, just to get some bread and get some food. This is in 1984 by George Orwell, who I believe was a communist as well, but then he came around and he started writing books on this stuff. I mean, this stuff is not a joke. It's a complete inversion of reality, and we're even seeing the left coming out and saying, well, sometimes 2 + 2 = 5. Actually, in this three-dimensional reality, no, that is actually not true. What you're saying is pure chaos game here, where anything that anybody thinks is real. Anybody, they could just come out and say butter and then expect you to, do a backflip. And they're like, that's my rules, I just made it up. 2 + 2 = 5. Mental illness. Systemic racism, mental illness. The Democrats were the party of the KKK. You are literally voting for a guy who spoke at the Grand Cyclops' Robert Byrd's funeral. He gave a speech there. I mean, just imagine if you or I gave a speech at a KKK Grand Cyclops' funeral. Or if we referred to him as one of our great mentors, like Hillary Clinton did. And then they put them up on the stage like they're going to run him for office. I mean, it's crazy. It's actual mental illness. And the disturbing thing is how many people are afflicted by it. This is the true virus. This is the real problem that we have in the world. It's just, I would say, it's a combination of willful ignorance and true malevolence, hatred. It's just shielded hatred for themselves or whatever, or they just want to have control over other people, or they're just Satanists and they just desire chaos. I don't know. I don't care. Frankly, like I've said on my fucking Facebook group, all I want to do is have a burger with some cool people on the beach, get my dick sucked, and enjoy my life. Like, die in peace. That's all I want, and I think that's what everyone wants. Raise a family, the idea of having like a healthy, happy family went out the window a long time ago for most Americans because of no-fault divorce laws, where the woman just immediately, basically no-fault laws, essentially, in certain states, like if you get hit by a cab, say, I had this happen to me, when you go to court, they're just going to rule on it as a no-fault based decision where it just goes this one way. They just assume, because they've had so many cases in this sense, that they're just going to rule in this one way to save time. That's no fault. So no fault divorce laws, no fault, I'm not sure if they have no fault child support laws or alimony laws, but women are definitely incentivized to divorce their husbands because they get money. They get money, they get the house, they get alimony. I mean, like, you're literally incentivizing someone to not make that relationship work. And that's part of Marxism too. It says it right there on the Black Lives Matter fucking website. Their plan is to destroy the nuclear family. Why, you might ask? Because they're Satanists. Because it's a mental illness. They know that destroying the nuclear family is not going to be good for humanity. They're eugenics. They're eugenicists. Whether they know it or not, they want to control the population and determine, who gets to live and who gets to die. I mean, these people they're really sick. Truly, this is the real virus. They don't know what they're doing. They're literally rooting for their own mutually assured self-destruction. They believe that human beings are bad. You go to these Black Lives Matter and Women's Rights Matter, whatever, events, and you're like, what do you want here? And they're like, white men need to die. And then they're like, why, dude? Or you ask them about, abortion. And you ask them, are you a human being? Is a human being in a fetus form still a human being? And they're like, no. And then they're like, well, you at one point were a human being. Actually, they said, no, they're parasites. Mental illness. And you're like, you were a fetus at one point. Would you have liked to have been aborted? A lot of them say yes. And you're like, well, if you want to be aborted and you don't want to be here, why don't you just go? Why do you need to come for me and my family and my rights and babies? You like aborting babies? Like, a lot of them are like, oh, I love the fact that I had an abortion. That's crazy. If you've ever gone through having an abortion with a girl, dude, it's a nightmare. Many of those women, they did a study on this, women that have had abortions are like 166% more likely to commit suicide, 66% more likely to have drug abuse problems. I mean, it goes on and on because it's a terrible thing, an abortion. It's not like a fun, easy, convenient thing. It's actually a very sad thing. You are playing God and you are saying, we need to kill this child because we can't take care of it. Or for whatever reason it is, you're killing the possibility of a human life. I don't know anybody that's actually felt good about that. But they're celebrating it. They're celebrating Anthony Fauci. They're celebrating Biden. They're celebrating Kamala Harris. They know what they're doing too, because Kamala Harris is a cop. She's a prosecutor that has hurt black people and put them behind bars for absolutely minute drug charges like smoking weed, which she laughed about smoking weed herself. And then the minute before that, they were just talking about disbanding the police, abolish the police. Seriously, abolish the police was the theme of the summer before Biden promoted Kamala's VP pick. They were talking about, how Black Lives Matter. That was proven to be a total hoax because Black Lives Matter and Antifa is mostly white people that burn down black businesses and kill black people and children and disband the police. The population that's the most affected is black and Latino and poor, so they don't have any fucking word about that. But George Floyd, right? Breonna Taylor hoax, absolute nonsense, mental illness. And then the next minute, they go and they elect a VP that was incredibly unfair to black people, and her fucking grandfather had slaves. I mean, it's crazy. These people are crazy. They're sick. They have, and you just, I mean, it's like you think to yourself, well, who is responsible for this? Because they're the ones that you really need to focus on, because clearly these people are they're just followers, and they're just, maybe they had too many vaccine shots, and I'm not even kidding you, or they had too much fluoride water, or too much poisoned food, and they don't work out enough, and they don't read, and they're indoctrinated by their parents that have also been dumbed down, and single mothers, and it's it's a lot of it is not their fault, but it's like you have this army of mentally ill people. You know, let's get to the root of this, because the elites, the people that are in charge, are not, they know what they're doing. The elites, the Bidens of the world, the Clintons of the world, the Obamas of the world, the Bill Gateses of the world, the Vatican, the popes, all these people that are worldwide, the Davos group, the Bilderberg group, all these people that come together, what do they have in common? Well, they're very often involved in the occult and Satanism and this bizarre shit. They don't believe in communism. These people are not the ones that get affected in communism. In communism, the people, the 99% of people, live in shit. They're serfs. They have nothing. You have socialized healthcare, even in Canada. See how well that worked out for them, the Canadians. See how well socialism has worked out for anybody. Capitalism is the greatest system that's ever been created. The freedom of free thought for us all to go out and create something that is of value, and then we have this imperfect fiat currency system where you pay each other, you know, whatever. They took us off the gold standard, and then after that, the value of the dollar totally tanked. But regardless, that's what we have. We have a great system of free market. You need less regulation, you need less government, and then with the free thought and the free ability to just create something of value to other people and innovate, that's what makes this the best system in the world. That's why America leads. America leads in the world because we create things. China copies it. Other countries don't have as much innovation. Some of them do. I mean, we hope everyone innovates and has free thought, but America leads because we're a capitalist society at our core. We were founded on that. We escaped the British unfair, usurious terms of tyranny where they were trying to keep us in debt. And we're like, fuck you. Go suck my dick. That was what the Tea Party was. We flipped the fucking tea over the fucking boat. Like, get the fuck out of here, you fucking Brits. Don't tell us what to do. Don't tread on me. Get the fuck out of here. You didn't get the fuck out of here. Go back to Britain, you cunt. And then we fought a war over it. And then again, we fought another war over slaves, freeing the black people. The Republicans did. That's what we did. That's what Abraham Lincoln did, whose statue they tore down because of the mental illness. It's mental illness. They tore down Abraham Lincoln's statue, the guy that freed the slaves, the Emancipation Proclamation. He went to bat and got assassinated to free black people, and they pulled down his statue. Psycho mental illness. It's like, oh, he's a white guy, therefore he's guilty of systemic racism and patriarchy. This fucking literal boogeyman where there's no evidence. And if you ask any Republican, like, oh, there's racism here, we'll be the first to be like, dude, yeah, let's get rid of the racism. We're not with the racism. But it's bullshit. It's all smoke and mirrors and black magic, and they've fallen right into it because their followers, they have a virus. It's a mental virus. It's from the single motherhood, the fluoride, the vaccines, the bad food they eat, the school system, which has been just bullshit. I mean, it's just years of this abuse and hypnosis that gets them like this, and that's the real virus. The fact that anybody is voting for Joe Biden today on October 22nd, 2020, and there are people that are like, Harris Biden, you're liars. You're not, you are actual fucking liars about everything that you do. 1 minute, it's about Black Lives Matter. The next minute, you're supporting a fucking VP that was a cop and that was a prosecutor that was really, really bad for black people. And she cheated, she was a home wrecker for Willie Brown, the governor of San Francisco. The guy had 3 kids at the time, and she was his mistress. That's how she got to be the attorney general, or whatever the fuck she got to be. Not because of her competence, clearly. Kamala Harris is an idiot. She doesn't make any sense when she speaks. She's the most disingenuous person that I've ever fucking dealt with in my life. I feel like I want to puke when I listen to her with her fake. And she tries to like talk black sometimes. She's Indian. She's not black. And her grandfather had slaves in Jamaica. What the fuck? I mean, these people are disingenuous liars. They know that. There's no way that you can't know that. Okay? And then you call Republicans, they come out and say, oh, Republicans are the enemy. No, actually, you're the enemy. You're the enemy. If you wanted, they're trying to take over this country. If you want to live in socialist, communist, piece of shit country, go move there. Go move there. You can still fly there. But they don't, because they're stupid, they're lazy, they've been privileged this entire time, where anyone with a liberal train of thought is like, woo! You tell him, sis. She like gets naked and shows her pussy to a bunch of kids and is like, Black Lives Matter! Like a demon, and bashes some innocent woman in the face and gets in the face of old people and intimidates and burns down businesses, and the media's like, peaceful protest. We understand exactly why you're doing that. That makes sense. There is patriarchy keeping you down there, girl, with your fucking $200,000 in student debt and the fact that you've been taking government payments for the past 9 months of the pandemic. You know how many government payments I've taken? 0. I've taken 0 government payments in this whole fucking pandemic. I even applied recently. Didn't get any because I didn't apply in the beginning because I'm not a leech. I actually thought, I'm good at sales. I'm going to keep my business going even though my business has been shut down, and I survived without it. But these people take government payments. They're on EBT. They're on the coronavirus. And I'm not judging anybody for doing that. Like, if you legit work and you're a Republican or whatever, you produce stuff, fine. Even if you don't, I'm not trying to say anything, okay? Even for the Democrats, the fact that COVID-19 was a bioweapon that was designed by Fauci and Gates and brought in and allowed, and all the Nazi governors like Cuomo and Fredo, his fucking brother, covering for him, and that bitch Gretchen Whitmer or whatever are all covering for it and shutting down the economy. It wasn't even your fault if you're a Democrat. So I'm not blaming you, but I'm just saying, like, if you take that and then you go out and you tell everyone how much America sucks while you have the government pay for you while you go and burn it down, yeah, you have a mental illness, you're a criminal, you're a whore, because you'll just do whatever the Democrat Party tells you to do. You have no mind of your own. You're just going to go along with whatever they tell you to say. You're like Biden. Biden will say on one day, he'll be like, oh, we're going to end fracking. We're definitely going to end fracking. I know it's going to cost a few million jobs of, hardworking Americans in the flyover states that he hates so much. But, we're going to end that because, the Green New Deal and AOC, this bartending bimbo, she thinks that it's a good idea. So let's listen to fucking AOC on the Green New Deal and get rid of fracking. Yeah, brilliant idea there, Watson. What are you going to use to power the fucking American people? Windmills that actually cause more fucking damage environmentally? Doo-doo-doo-doo. Fucking mental illness. And then they go in and, Bill Gates, we can't wait for the vaccine. Let me just wear my mask. Let me just wear my mask inside and outside and every single fucking place that I go, and I'm gonna go sit in the car with a fucking mask on, like somebody died, like I'm in wearing a fucking burqa in the Middle East. Dude, it's just mental illness. You're going along with something you know isn't true. It's like systemic racism, not fucking true. Is there racism in the world? Yes. Is it okay with anybody? No. It's okay with a very small percentage of people that nobody likes. So it's just, god damn it. It just drives me crazy. I don't think they're going to win because I think a lot of people are realizing, they're waking up to the fact that, like, oh shit, if they actually get into office and if our democratic socialist LARPing situation goes through, I'm going to get evicted. Wow, what a surprise. And then I'll need to, go along and get vaccinated, and people who take the vaccine are getting sick and dying. I know nobody cares about that. The 500,000 people in India that were paralyzed by Bill Gates' vaccine, but that's India. It goes on over there. Dude, we live in a great country, so we don't have that happening first, but the reality is that it's coming here. All these Nazi governors that are literally shutting down Jewish businesses exclusively. They actually call it out. They're like, the Jewish community needs to they need to stop, okay? They need to stop, with their celebrations and their weddings and their funerals, and they need to shut down for COVID-19. They shut them down. That's outrageous. I mean, if you claim on one hand to be politically correct, and then in the next breath you're calling out people, the Jews, and you're having the Jews shut down, I don't agree with the Hasidic community on a lot of points, but I'm just saying, like, that is scary as fuck to me as a Jew, because of the whole Holocaust thing. And I also think it's just the hubris, the chutzpah of these people to just come out and be like, the Jews need to shut down, and they go and they find Jewish businesses. That's like fucking Kristallnacht, dude. That's what the Nazis did in the first place. They started imposing their regulation, shattering windows of Jewish businesses, making them wear a patch on the golden star on their fucking shoulder. It's crazy. It's coming. It's not that far away. You know, and the issue with Republicans is that Republicans are, for the most part, decent people. In my opinion, they're pretty weak, and they have no balls, which, again, I don't really blame them for, because, you know, they've just lived their whole fucking last 4 years having to silently celebrate like you've got the fucking HIV or something, you got the HIV, you know, like you gotta, you know, go about your life and keep it hidden from everybody. Oh my God, I voted for Trump. So they've been beaten down, but dude, I mean, you gotta stand up to these people. They're midgets. They don't work for a living for the most part. They're intellectual dumbasses that went to college and had some liberal teacher teach them shit. They've got no ground to stand on. So the Republicans need to grow some balls too and just be like, dude, shut the fuck up. Seriously. And move out of the liberal cities, stop doing business there, and start speaking up. You've got nothing to be ashamed of. Trump has been a great president. He's been a great fucking president. Great president. Love the guy. I love him for his faults. He's got some idiosyncratic faults, but I will take those any day over somebody like Kamala Harris or Hillary Clinton or Barack Obama or the Bushes, the people that are the fakest people in the world. I'll take this guy over them any fucking day. Is it the lesser of two evils? It's always the lesser of two evils, okay? But that guy, love him. Think he's been a great president, and I think he'll do great in the next 4 years. So I'm Trump 2020 all the way. I was Trump 2016 all the way, and I voted for Obama twice before that. So not that that will ever appease the mob. That's it. Rant over. Hope you guys have a great day. Subscribe to my channel, please, so that I can stay in touch with you. Also, go to my blog, bradholiday.com. I've got a lot of great articles coming up on my best watch picks for affordable prices. Like, I've got some of the best suggestions on watches. I've been super into watches for a long time. Some clothing guides, some great affordable clothing lines that you could use and how to put outfits together. And, you know, there's stuff on prepping, there's stuff on politics, there's stuff on dating, there's stuff on sex. There's a ton of different stuff on the site, and I'm just going to keep building it out more and more over the next few weeks. I also have a product available for $150, which, if you're interested in, helps me keep going, helps me keep the business going into the future. So if you're interested in that, please show support. Really would help. Also, I offer coaching for an affordable price. PM me if you're interested in that, about dating, picking up women, online dating, getting your dating life squared away, so on and so forth. Helps keep the business going. And the boot camps, in-person coaching, I don't really do that as much, so it's more expensive, but I do offer that. So if you're interested in that, please PM me. It helps me keep the business going. Thank you guys so much. I'll talk to you guys soon. Hope you all are well and your families are well. And vote Trump 2020. Remember to get out and vote in person. Don't do the mail-in shit. That's been proven to be a fraud, obviously, because everything the Democrats do is fraudulent. Peace.